A heat advisory is in place today. Intense heat looks likely all the way through the start of next week. We'll talk more about how hot it will feel this afternoon coming up.
An I-85 tractor trailer crash. We have new information at 8 after a truck crash closed multiple lanes for hours in Durham. What led to the scene near Guest Road. And preparing for the heat, how state parks are getting ready for a hot 4th of July weekend and what you can do ahead of time. We are following those stories and more here on WRAL News. WRAL News at 8 starts in 30 seconds.
Now be careful with Hardee's new hot honey. You'll get lost in that made-from-scratch hot honey chicken biscuit. Right now, get the hot honey chicken biscuit or any chicken biscuit for just $3.99. Only at Hardee's.
What's up, Bubba?
Hey, Brad.
Did we win something?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Partner with some chicken.
Yeah.
Right now on the app, My Rewards members get the Bubba Wallace Full Throttle Tenders Meal with a collectible Hardee's card.
All right, it's 8 a.m. here on your Friday Eve. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Kirsten Clark. Yet another hot day in the books, Laura. We are...
it's sizzling.
It's getting worse and worse. Let's get right over to meteorologist Grant Skinner. And Grant, it's going to be so hot today. It is a WRAL weather alert day.
Yeah, we have a heat advisory in place. Doesn't mean it'll be hot all day today, but by around 11 a.m. noon, you'll start to see those heat index values peaking up to around 100 degrees, and they will continue to climb throughout the day. So be prepared for a little bit more intense heat than what you saw yesterday. We reached the mid-90s yesterday. Highs reached to around 100 this afternoon. This heat advisory covers a triangle, points north towards Virginia, back towards the northern coastline, into the west, into the Triad. And there's heat warnings back to our west into parts of the Ohio Valley and down through Tennessee. That could expand east into this weekend. Here's a view from Zebulon this morning. Just a few clouds out there. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine. It's comfortable. Temperatures mild this morning, starting in the 70s. We're at 76 in Fayetteville, 79 in Raleigh, 77 in Roxborough, 75 in Goldsboro. So already almost at 80 degrees. And we'll quickly heat up through this afternoon. Highs reach to around 100. We'll talk more about how much more we'll heat up through the 4th of July, and also when we could see a little bit of rain next week as well. That's coming up.
Taking a look at your morning commute, 8 a.m. here. Again, on your Thursday morning, we are following a new crash that just popped up here on Capitol Boulevard near Durant Road. This is a southbound lane. We are beginning to see a little bit of congestion in this area, so just be mindful of that. Working to gather more information. But again, this is Capitol Boulevard, the southbound lanes near Durant Road. Taking a look at those drive times as you're heading into Raleigh at this time, we were seeing a lot of congestion for people traveling from the Wake Forest area into Raleigh. We were looking at a 10-minute delay in the last 30 minutes heading again into the Raleigh area. So, of course, we'll be sure to update you more on what we're learning in terms of, again, the crash here in this area. Be sure to tune us in on the radio at 101.5 HD3.
You. Part of I-85 North in Durham was closed for hours this morning after a crash involving a tractor trailer. This happened just before 1 o'clock this morning near Guest Road. And you're looking at video from the WRAL breaking news tracker showing two trailers, one of them with heavy back end damage. Durham police say the tractor trailer hit the median and the trailer spilled their cargo across the highway. No one was hurt, and 3 lanes were shut down for more than 4 hours. Thousands are expected to spend the 4th of July holiday weekend cooling off at lakes at North Carolina state parks. WRAL's Allie Cadlebar joins us live from Jordan Lake. And Allie, park rangers there are preparing campers and visitors for the intense heat.
Oh, yeah, it's quiet right now here at Jordan Lake, but that won't be the case later this weekend. We're going to see tons of people are going to be trying to beat the heat in the water, on the water, or near the water, like we can see this fisherman's doing right now. But whether you are in the water or not, park officials say they will be making sure people stay hydrated and drink water. Campers should also wear breathable clothes and bring fans or cooling towels. Avoid spending time outdoors during the hottest times of the day. Now, park officials also want people to be aware of those low lake levels because of the drought. Some boat ramps may be closed. Swimming areas are open, but the depth of the lake could be deceiving.
Even though the lake is low, that doesn't mean that, it's still not dangerous to be out there. And of course, there are drop-offs around the lake, and because the lake is low and people are going out farther, people just need to be aware that there are sudden drop-offs.
Yeah, so watch where you swim, watch where you step in the lake. Want to make sure you're extra aware. Now wear a life jacket if you are out on the lake or in it swimming. The life jackets are free here at Jordan Lake and they are available. Reporting live at Jordan Lake, Allie Cadlebar, WRAL News.
All important tips there. Allie, thank you. You can prepare for the extreme heat with the WRAL weather app. Make sure to go ahead and turn on those push notifications so you can get those important weather alerts sent right to your home screen. Well, today could mark the end of one of the longest and most closely watched legislative battles in a year.
Yes, after months of negotiation, state lawmakers are expected to take a final vote on the largest state budget in North Carolina history. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey has the latest on this crucial piece of funding.
If this budget is finally approved today, the $34 billion spending plan will head straight to Governor Josh Stein's desk. The budget proposal features tax cuts, funding for schools, hurricane recovery, transportation, and more. Raises for teachers and state employees are also top priorities in this budget. Lawmakers spent hours debating the proposal yesterday. Many Democrats criticized the budget, but still voted to advance it, saying state employees should not have to wait any longer for raises and bonuses. House Speaker Destin Hall says the budget addresses Republicans' goals without jeopardizing the state's reserves.
We would have wanted to do even more for all state employees than what's in this budget. I think that a lot of the critical areas of state government, like the Highway Patrol, detention officers, they obviously had really good raises in this budget.
For a closer look at what's in the budget and what comes next, head to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
We will be following the latest on the budget votes throughout the day. You can get the latest information on WRAL.com and in our evening newscast starting at 4 p.m. Well, we are expecting a busy holiday travel weekend at RDU, where you're taking a live look. TSA expects to screen about 133,000 people at the airport between today and July 6. Today, Sunday, and Monday are expected to be the busiest days. So the airport was shut down for about an hour yesterday after a jet and a box truck crashed into each other. Sky 5 flew over that scene. The crash happened just before 2 p.m. and no one was hurt. But the airport shutdown led to dozens of delays that lasted into the evening. RDU hasn't said what led up to this crash. The NTSB says it's waiting for more information to decide whether this crash is worth a full investigation. Fayetteville police have charged a man in a cold case murder investigation. Justice Sampson is charged with first-degree murder in the death of Nina Mollison. Mollison was found dead in March of 2020 at a home on Murkison Road. DNA testing at the time did not identify a suspect. In December, a private laboratory notified investigators it had identified a potential suspect, and those detectives found Sampson in Georgia.
Happening today, July 4th celebrations are getting started just a little early in some communities across our area. The town of Morrisville is hosting its Red, White, and Boom Festival tonight. It'll include live music and food trucks along with the fireworks show at the end of the night. And that'll be at Cedar Fork District Park from 6 to 9:30 p.m. Wendell will also have its big fireworks show tonight at Wendell Park. It'll include live music, a golf cart and bike parade, and food trucks. It'll wrap up with fireworks at around 9 p.m. and the park opens up at 6:30 p.m. Some cities are adjusting their plans for the holiday as we deal with extreme heat and drought. In Raleigh, the celebration at Dix Park on Saturday will continue as planned. Organizers say firefighters and EMS will be on standby, and there will also be hydration stations where you can refill your water bottle.
Team USA is moving on in the FIFA World Cup. The Americans beat Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0 last night in the round of 32. It's only the second time the USA has ever won a knockout stage match. Now they'll move on to the round of 16. They'll play Belgium on Monday night. You'll be able to watch that game on Fox 50. Well, soccer fans in the Triangle have a lot to be excited about as Team USA is moving on in the World Cup. Fans braved the heat last night to watch the match at Moore Square. We spoke with a group of friends from out of town who were here for another event. They say that they were excited for the chance to cheer on Team USA with a big crowd downtown.
We're actually tourists. We're here for the North American Rubik's Cube Championship. He's from Vegas. He's from California. We're from Utah. So it's awesome that we were able to come here. Raleigh's been great. And I love that there's a space like this. And the watch party was so fantastic. I love being here.
Vegas, Utah, California, we love it. Well, the city of Raleigh will host watch parties for every Team USA game during the World Cup. It will also host a watch party for the final on July 19th, whether the U.S. is in it or not. And it is time for the FIFA World Cup score of the day. Belgium is moving on to face Team USA after a victory against Senegal. The final score of that match was 3-2. And today on Fox 50, 2 more teams will advance to the round of 16. At 3, we have Spain playing Austria, and at 7, Portugal faces Croatia.
Well, the FBI is cracking down on illegal drones near FIFA World Cup events. Federal agents have already seized more than 500 drones flying in restricted airspace around stadiums and official fan events. In Atlanta, law enforcement is tracking, questioning, and even arresting pilots who violate the no-drone zones. Officials say those who fly in restricted airspace without authorization could face steep fines and federal criminal charges. And we're keeping an eye on the latest gas prices as we get closer to the holiday weekend. According to AAA, the average for a gallon of gas in Raleigh is at $3.57. In the Charlotte area, $3.53, and in Wilmington, just a bit higher at $3.54. Coming up, sky-high drama. 2 people climbed to the top of the Empire State Building in a daring stunt. What they did at the top before they were arrested.
And nothing but trash. The drought is exposing more than just the shoreline at Falls Lake. We have the efforts to clean up what's left behind. Grant.
Yeah, weather alert days last all the way through Monday of next week. And the main reason for that is heat index values will reach up to around 105 today, could climb to as high as 110 this weekend. We'll talk more about when we'll finally see some relief. And we could see a little bit of rain the next week as well. That's all coming up. 8:14 on this Thursday morning. Look at the heat alerts across much of the U.S., including parts of Missouri, all the way through the Ohio Valley into the New England states. We have extreme heat warnings for some spots, heat advisories for others. We're under a heat advisory today, and this stretches over parts of the Triad, even back towards Charlotte, and parts of eastern Tennessee and northern Georgia into South Carolina are also under a heat advisory. So it'll feel very hot this afternoon, even at the beach. Carolina Beach today, lots of sunshine, just a few clouds this morning. Folks getting in some morning beach time, which is wise because it'll be hotter this afternoon. Highs reach the mid to upper 80s. Some spots can reach the low to mid 90s. So not terribly hot today, but definitely hotter tomorrow. More spots reaching the 90s and even hotter into this weekend.
Hey, Grant, thank you. Taking a look at your morning commute right now, it appears that crash on Capitol Boulevard has cleared near Durant Road, so that's good news if you're heading out on your morning commute. Let's check in on our friends in Durham right now. We have a live look at I-40 at Fayetteville, where you can see traffic is moving nice and smoothly in this area, especially if you're headed to South Point Mall this morning, or maybe already hitting the roads for those 4th of July travel. Well, we have a look at your drive times too. If you're traveling into the area here, if you're traveling the capital city from Wake Forest, that drive time has dropped a little bit to 4 minutes now if you're heading in, and 1 minute to Nightdale. Be sure to tune us in on the radio at 101.5 HD3 as you're headed out the door.
Laura, thank you. You've probably seen the videos by now. It was breaking news yesterday afternoon. A daring climb high above New York City. 2 people are now in custody this morning after making their way to the top of the Empire State Building. The 2 Russian nationals are known for climbing skyscrapers around the world. And the pair unrolled a large banner at the top of the building that displayed a message of peace. And then the man got down on one knee and appeared to propose. The 2 embraced and kissed, and as they started to climb down, they were met by people to help them get down safely, and then they were arrested. They're facing charges including reckless endangerment and criminal trespassing.
Spending their first night engaged in jail. Well, the celebration of America's 250th birthday took President Donald Trump to North Dakota. He arrived in Bismarck yesterday on the brand new Air Force One. He then attended a dedication ceremony for the new Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library. After touring the new library, President Trump praised Teddy Roosevelt's toughness as a leader.
As America turns 250 years old, we look at this remarkable man and we recall that with effort, determination, and drive, there is nothing that Americans of competence cannot do. Nothing.
During his speech, the president was critical of the recent Supreme Court ruling on birthright citizenship. He has previously called on Congress to address the issue through legislation.
Cape Fear Valley Health is eliminating nearly 200 positions. The hospital says this is due to the rising cost of health care and the decline in federal reimbursements. Of the 200 positions, 138 are currently filled. The hospital says it has already taken other cost-cutting measures, and eligible employees will be offered a separation package or another role where possible.
Raleigh City Council will talk about an offer that the city has received to sell the Wilmington Street Station parking deck. A company from Denver is offering more than $15 million for the parking garage. The offer came in before the city put out an official request for information to sell that property. City Council will discuss this at its next meeting next Tuesday. Well, parking changes are coming to Raleigh next month. Starting August 1st, parking rates for on-street parking and certain parking facilities will change. These are the first major parking rate updates since 2018. They were approved by City Council as part of the 2027 budget. The city still plans to have free 2-hour parking programs.
As people get ready to spend the 4th of July weekend at Falls Lake, the ongoing drought is exposing more than just the shoreline. It's also revealing trash that has been hidden under feet of water. The drought has lowered lake levels and exposed that trash. That's why volunteers were out yesterday. This cleanup effort started with the post on Reddit, and it quickly turned into a community effort. Volunteers spent the day filling bags with trash and hauling debris away from the shoreline.
When you have a ton of people enjoying the lake, there's obviously going to be some trash left behind, and you want to prevent that as much as possible, but it's not always the case. So every once in a while, you need people to come down and just clean up the area.
I think opportunities like this that come along is really important to for the community building aspect. It's really wonderful to meet people that come from different walks of life.
Yeah, so these hot and dry conditions will likely last for the foreseeable future, so you'll be seeing exposed areas of shoreline for quite some time.
13,000 AC units are being recalled as much of the country deals with extreme heat. Daikin Comfort Technologies Manufacturing says the recall is because of burn and fire risks. 2 models are affected. They were sold between April and December of last year. If you have one, that you should stop using it right now and contact the company for a refund.
All right, let's welcome back meteorologist Grant Skinner. And Grant, Laura was just talking about those AC units. Yes. There's never a good time to have a recall on an AC unit, but especially not now.
Yeah, AC is going to be a must-have through this weekend. It's going to be very, very hot. Fortunately, the morning hours provide for a little bit of relief and some beauty as well. I want to start with this photo. This was sent in to report it on WRAL.com. Keep sharing photos like this. Even if you're on your morning walk and you just see a pretty shot like this, just quick photo, send it to us. You can actually send it through the app as well, the weather app. So do that. Vicki McLean sent this in at Harnett County. Just a gorgeous view this morning of the sunrise with a little bit of cloud cover, making for some really stunning colors, deep oranges and reds. Tracking 100-degree days. So we had 3 so far, and we could see 5 of them within a 5-day time period all the way through the start of next week. Our record's 12 back in 99, so we'd need 5 and then 4 more at some point by the end of the summer. So hopefully we don't. I don't want to hit 100 degrees, but there's a chance we could have multiple 100-degree days over the next handful of days. And we'll talk more about why here in a second. Here's a view from Durham, though, right now. We have blue sky right now, beautiful from the ballpark. In the summertime, you want to go see a ball game. Make sure you're staying hydrated if you're going to be out there. Ball cap, plenty of sunscreen. 79 in Raleigh, 77 in Roxborough, 76 in Fayetteville, 80 in Southern Pines this morning. So a mild start to the day, but very hot this afternoon. We jumped to 100 in Raleigh, 100 in Fayetteville, 99 Lewisburg. Heat index values right around 105. So feeling toasty this afternoon. That's why we have a heat advisory in place from noon all the way through 8 o'clock. And the alert days last all the way through Sunday because of the ongoing intense heat. We jumped to 102 Friday, 103 on Saturday for the 4th, so even hotter then. 102 on Sunday. Monday, we'll still be in the triple digits. So make sure you're staying hydrated, take breaks in the AC, shade whenever possible because it's going to feel hot all the way through the start of next week. Even Tuesday and Wednesday, we have a bit of relief, but it's still hot in the mid-90s. Hopefully some rain chances next week as well to help with our drought conditions.
Okay, Grant, thank you. Right now, we have some breaking traffic news in Durham. Sky 5 is flying over the scene of a crash involving a GO Durham bus. This happened near the intersection of North Driver and Holloway Street. Again, this is a crash involving a Go Durham bus. Our visuals from Sky 5 and from this vantage point, we were able to see someone being pulled out on a stretcher, and that person is being taken care of by EMS at this time. We're working to gather more details about what exactly happened here, how this happened, as well as the extent of the injuries of those involved. We also don't know if anyone was on that bus when this crash happened, so we'll be following that very closely. So with that in mind, I want you to give you a live look here back in Durham at I-40 at Fayetteville, where traffic is moving nice and smoothly here on all of our main routes in the Bull City at this time. Those drive times heading into Durham also look pretty good. We're not seeing any major backups or delays that we're tracking at this time. You can see here only a 1-minute delay if you're traveling from Infinity Road and only a 2-minute delay from Highway 50. If you're traveling into the capital city, we were seeing some congestion if you're traveling from Wake Forest into Raleigh. But right now, I think we only have about a 5-minute delay. Let's check it out. Okay, 3 minutes here from Wake Forest. So you can tune us in on the radio as you're headed out the door at 101.5 HD3.
Time now is 8:23. Summer safety from swimming risks to choking hazards. 5 on Your Side shares the reminders to keep your children safe this holiday weekend.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Your time now is 8:26. I'm Kirsten Clark. This dangerous heat has triggered a WRAL Weather Alert Day. Let's get right over to meteorologist Grant Skinner, who's tracking the latest.
Yeah, by around noon today, temperatures will reach the low 90s. Highs this afternoon reach to around 100, but the heat index will climb above 100 degrees by around lunchtime. That's why we have the alert day in place, because we'll have a prolonged stretch of intense heat during the day today, and also into our Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday of next week. The heat will only continue. We'll jump to around 100 by 4 o'clock. We'll still be in the 90s by 8 p.m. this evening. The heat advisory goes from noon through 8 o'clock. Could see a peak heat index at around 105 degrees today.
Here in the traffic center, we are following some breaking news out of Durham. Sky 5 is currently flying over the scene of a crash involving a Go Durham bus. This happened at around 7:45 this morning near North Driver and Holloway Street. You can see those emergency vehicles there at the scene as well as the bus. We're still working to gather more details on if anyone was injured, the extent of those injuries. We did see someone being pulled from a stretcher. So again, working to gather more details. Be sure to tune us in on the radio at 101.5 HD3.
And more breaking news in Durham. Part of I-85 North in Durham was closed for hours this morning after a crash involving a tractor trailer. This happened just before 1 this morning near Guess Road. Durham police say the tractor trailer hit the median and the trailer spilled their cargo across the highway. Thankfully, no one was hurt. And today, the House and Senate will both make final votes on the $34 billion state budget. That would send the first budget in over a year to the governor's desk, and it'll fund raises for teachers, state employees, and law enforcement. It also includes tax cuts, funding for hurricane recovery, and more. Stay with us for more coming up on Fox 50.
Intense heat starts today, highs reaching the triple digits. It will stay that way all the way through Monday. We'll talk more about this dangerous heat through the 4th, and we'll finally see some relief.
Plus, a tractor trailer crash. A tractor trailer crash closed 3 lanes of I-85 near Guess Road in Durham for hours. The new information we're learning about what led to this early morning scene.
And final budget vote today, state lawmakers will make a decision about the $34 billion spending plan. What to expect as the long-awaited deal moves closer to the governor's desk. We're also following that breaking news in Durham with a crash involving a Go Durham bus. We'll get to that in just a bit. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Kirsten Clark. Yeah, that crash, a car and a bus involved.
Yes.
So hopefully no injuries there, but we'll get updates as soon as we can for you. But we'll start with meteorologist Grant Skinner, who's in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking some dangerous heat today.
Yeah, comfortable this morning, mild this morning, a lot of sunshine to start our day, but by this afternoon, the heat will really build. This is the view from our WRAL Gardens camera. You can see it is gorgeous out there. Spend some time outdoors now because this afternoon, the heat will get quite intense. 80 already in Southern Pines, 79 in South Hill, 78 in Clinton, Rocky Mounts at 77, as well as Smithfield. Lots of sunshine to start the day, but look how the heat index changes throughout the course of the day. We'll be in the low 90s for the heat index by 10 a.m., over 100 degrees by around noon, and that stays the same all the way through 3, 4 o'clock, even through 7 p.m. this evening. We still have heat index values above 100 degrees. We finally cool off later this evening, but with the humidity factored in on top of the heat, it's going to feel hot throughout the day. So stay hydrated, take breaks inside, and with AC as much as possible. Peak heat index at around 105 degrees today. This heat advisory goes from noon all the way through 8 p.m. We'll talk more about how this heat builds all the way through the 4th of July, and then when we'll finally see a bit of relief and some rain chances coming up in just a bit.
Okay, great. Grant, thank you so much. Let's get you to that breaking news in Durham right now. Sky 5 is flying over the scene of a crash involving a vehicle and a Go Durham bus. This happened around 7:40, 7:45 near the intersection of North Driver and Holloway Street. You can see just a lot of that debris there, the glass shattered in the middle of the road. Right now, we're working to gather more information on if anyone was injured. We did see a man being put on a stretcher, being treated by EMS. So again, working to learn also if anyone was on board the bus. Here back in the traffic center, we're also following a crash on I-440 this morning. This is being reported as a serious crash, and it is causing some backups and delays in this area here. You can see the congestion and a lot of the red here on the map. So also working to gather more details about this, but this is happening in the westbound lanes of I-440 if you're headed out the door. We're going to keep you updated on all of those delays. So let's take a look at those drive times if you're heading into Raleigh at this point. We have a 3-minute delay from Wake Forest, 1 minute from I-885, and 1 minute from Nightdale. Be sure to tune us in on the radio at 101.5 HD3.
Laura, thank you. Part of I-85 North in Durham was closed for hours this morning after a crash involving a tractor trailer. Now, this happened just before 1 o'clock this morning near Guess Road. And you're looking at video from the WRAL breaking news tracker showing 2 trailers, one of them with heavy back-end damage. Durham police says the tractor trailer hit the median and the trailer spilled their cargo across the highway. Thankfully, no one was hurt in this crash, but 3 lanes were shut down for more than 4 hours. Well, happening today, the State House and Senate will both conduct final votes on the state budget. That would send the first budget in years to the governor's desk. As WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains, lawmakers have been debating how to spend the $34 billion.
If this budget is finally approved today, the $34 billion spending plan will head straight to Governor Josh Stein's desk. The budget proposal features tax cuts, funding for schools, hurricane recovery, transportation, and more. Raises for teachers and state employees are also top priorities in this budget. Lawmakers spent hours debating the proposal yesterday. Many Democrats criticized the budget, but still voted to advance it, saying state employees should not have to wait any longer for raises and bonuses.
The raises were not what they should have been. State employees really got hammered on this one. When you look at the law enforcement raises, we're glad to the portion of law enforcement that got it, but at the same time, magistrates are still making less than bank tellers. You know, people that work in DA's office, their support staff, all these folks, clerks, none of these folks are getting raises.
For a closer look at what's in the budget and what comes next, head to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
The budget is more than 600 pages long. Our entire NC Capitol team has been digging into what's in it, and you can find a longer breakdown on the WRAL YouTube page. And be sure to stay with WRAL throughout the day as state lawmakers prepare to cast their vote on the budget. You can tune in for updates in our evening show starting at 4 p.m.
Well, today is a WRAL weather alert day because of dangerous heat, and temperatures could hit triple digits today. So these temperatures come as thousands are expected to spend the 4th of July holiday weekend cooling off at lakes and North Carolina state parks. So let's bring in WRAL's Allie Catlabar. She's been live at Jordan Lake all morning long. And Allie, park rangers are preparing campers and visitors for this intense heat.
Yeah, it is heating up outside. I'm about to jump into the water as well to cool off. That's what we're going to see a lot of people doing this weekend. They're expecting to see tons of people just spending time in the water, on the water, near the water to beat the heat. But the drought and low water levels could affect that. So listen up. This video from Sky 5 shows the water levels at Jordan Lake as of yesterday. You can see how low the water is at some boat ramps and swimming access points. Park officials say boat ramps at Poplar Point Campground are closed. Swimming areas are open, but swimmers should look out for sudden drop-offs. People should wear life jackets while swimming or on a boat. We spoke with a camper who plans to spend a lot of time outside this weekend. He says he's prepared to stay cool outdoors.
camper got AC, but we got fans and pop-up tents and stuff around the campsites, and got coolers and stuff, staying pretty hydrated.
Yeah, staying hydrated, very important, and also finding places with AC if you can. Park officials also recommend wearing breathable clothing, having cooling towels or misting fans, as well as not staying outside during the hottest times of the day. Reporting live at Jordan Lake, Allie Gathabar, WRAL News.
Allie, thank you. Team USA is moving on in the FIFA World Cup after a win over Bosnia and Herzegovina last night in a round of 32. The U.S. took a 1-0 lead just before halftime on a goal by Flo Balogun. It was his third goal of the tournament, but in the second half, Balogun received a red card for stepping on a Bosnian player's ankle. That left the U.S. down a player for more than 30 minutes, but the Americans scored again anyway. Malik Tillman's free kick goal made it 2-0, which ended up being the final. The USA will play Belgium next in the round of 16. That match will be on Monday at 8 p.m. on Fox 50.
A man who was accused in a stabbing near Wendell is expected in court today. 38-year-old Arnhart Joyner is charged with felony assault, and police say Joyner stabbed a man in his home. The victim is expected to recover. And this morning, investigators are looking into what went wrong when a jet and a box truck collided at RDU. Sky 5 flew over the scene just before 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. No one was hurt, but this photo shows the damage left behind on the plane after the crash in the middle of a taxiway. A flight instructor we spoke with says vehicles are supposed to give planes the right of way on the tarmac.
There are incidences where something can approach the airplane from a side and you might not see it until it gets pretty close.
The crash shut down the airport for about an hour. The NTSB says it is aware of the incident and it's waiting for more information to decide whether this crash is worth a full investigation.
A man is now facing an attempted murder charge after authorities say that he stabbed someone here in southern Wake County. Sky 5 flew over that scene here on Chandler Ridge Circle. That's off of Fayetteville Road near Highway 540 and happened around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. So Saifi Nagy Murray Wilson is charged in this case. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We have reached out to get an update on his condition this morning. A United States Postal Service worker was killed while delivering the mail. This happened in Wilkes County, which is about 2.5 hours west of Raleigh. Police say a man kidnapped and killed mail carrier Brandy Reynolds. She was just a 35-year-old mother of 2. The SBI says Reynolds was found dead after someone in the neighborhood called for help. The USPS confirmed she was delivering mail on her route at the time. Neighbors held a prayer vigil at the end of their street, and they say she went above and beyond for all the homes on her route.
And I'm thinking to myself that this can't be happening in our neighborhood. My heart broke for her family and for her children. And I just kept saying, no, that's not her. That's not my Brandy.
Yeah, just a heartbreaking situation for that community. William Durham is charged with murder and kidnapping, and he's currently being held without bond.
Freddie Anderson is leaving the Carolina Hurricanes. The goalie signed a 1-year, $2.75 million contract with the Edmonton Oilers yesterday. Anderson spent the last 5 seasons with the Canes. He won 13 playoff games during the Canes Stanley Cup run this season. Your time now, 8:40 here. Grilling risks coming up. Doctors warn of cancer-causing chemicals released when you cook meat. The ways that you can limit the danger and protect yourself.
Plus, from swimming risks to choking hazards, 5 on Your Side shares the top reminders to keep your children safe this holiday weekend. Grant?
And a hot afternoon and staying dry through much of this weekend as well. We're waiting for that latest update in the drought monitor as our drought conditions continue to increase across the area. We'll talk more about when we could see some rain to help out with our drought conditions coming up. .44 now on this Thursday morning. High pressure is in place right now, keeping us dry, and we'll stay dry through much of this weekend. A few storms possible Friday and Saturday, but mostly quiet. The big story is going to be the heat that builds today all the way through the 4th and even all the way through Monday of next week. Look at the heat risk across much of the eastern half of the U.S. This area in red indicating major heat risk from Missouri all the way through the New England states down through central North Carolina back towards Tennessee. And these areas in purple are the extreme heat risk that's been expanding to more spots. We could see that extreme heat risk spread to more areas into Friday and Saturday into this weekend. So again, those without proper cooling methods definitely going to be impacted by the major heat risk that we have today. So make sure to stay hydrated, take those breaks in the AC whenever possible.
Okay, Grant, thank you. We're staying on top of that breaking news in Durham, where we are following a crash involving a Go Durham bus. This happened around 7:45 at the intersection of North Driver and Holloway Street. This appears to be near the McDougal Terrace area. You can see that car there with a whole lot of damage there, as well as the Go Durham bus. We're working to learn if anyone was injured. We did see one being treated by EMS on the scene, so working to learn the extent of their injuries. We're also working to learn if anyone was on board the bus. We're also following a major serious crash on I-440 right now that is causing some backups and delays. I want to go ahead and zoom on in here where you can see the red that continues to extend down I-440. This is the westbound lanes impacted at this time, so we're going to keep our eyes on this as well. Be sure to tune us in on the radio at 101.5 HD3.
Swimming risk to choking hazard. Summer is a peak time for injuries and emergency room visits. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur shares some important reminders to keep you and your family safe.
The 4th of July holiday weekend is one of the busiest times of year for emergency rooms, especially when it comes to children. Here are a few key reminders for you and your family as you celebrate this weekend. First up, water safety. Experts recommend someone always be designated to watch children in the water. Nearly 70% of drownings happen during non-swim times.
These are the most dangerous moments. Nobody's watching the child. Nobody's watching the pool. They don't expect the child to be in the water.
Don't rely on those popular floaties. Kids without strong swimming skills should wear a Coast Guard approved life jacket. Next up, bikes, trikes, and scooters. Be sure kids always have helmets and make sure they fit appropriately. And finally, an important reminder for all adults, consider a CPR and choking refresher class. Have a safe and happy holiday weekend. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Well, if you're planning to grill for the 4th of July, doctors warn that you may be unleashing dangerous chemicals. Doctors say chemicals that can be released while grilling meat can lead to cancer growth. But there are some steps that you can take to help reduce your risk for exposure. You should choose leaner meats rather than processed options like hot dogs, sausages, and bacon. Cutting down on cook time can help too.
The longer that meat is exposed to the flame, the more chances we have to create some of those carcinogen effects. So if you can pre-cook some of the meat, like boil it a little bit and then finish it off on the grill, that will help.
So another way to cut down on cooking time is to cut into smaller pieces and make kebabs. Marinating your meat before grilling can be helpful too.
To the town of Apex now, where they met with teens and parents last night to go over safety and learn more about e-bikes. Other towns across our area have slowly started bringing in ordinances and rules on how the popular electric vehicles can be used. In Holly Springs, law enforcement and town leaders pushed back on the use of e-bikes on sidewalks and main roadways. They enacted an ordinance last month. It's a conversation that's brought about a lot of discussion, especially surrounding the young people riding them.
That we all have to teach them how to do this responsibly and not be popping the wheelies where they shouldn't be, and pay attention to everybody. And if you see my kid, I'm going to point him out. He better be following the rules.
Currently, there are no e-bike ordinances in Apex. The mayor plans to take the feedback to city council to more clearly define those rules.
Next week marks 1 year since Tropical Storm Chantal led to a flooding nightmare for parts of Durham and Orange counties. It was a painful reminder of how the greatest danger from tropical systems in North Carolina is not always at the coast. Inland flooding is the deadliest threat from tropical systems, and North Carolina is no stranger to it. Within the last 10 years, these storms have produced more than $80 billion in damages. Yet only 1 in 10 North Carolinians have flood insurance. Tonight on WRAL News at 6, WRAL meteorologist Chris Michaels reveals which counties face the greatest flood risk and if we are prepared enough to rebuild after the fact.
Well, the Carolina Hurricanes are picking up fans all over the world after their Stanley Cup run, including the Pope. His Holiness now has a custom jersey with his name on it. Pope Leo XIV met with State Labor Commissioner Luke Farley at the Vatican. And the Pope also received the Order of the Tar Heel, the highest honor handed out by the Department of Labor. Wow, we love it. Well, a new era is on the way for PlayStation.
Oh, yes. And a California man turns his front yard into a giant World Cup tournament bracket. Let's take a look now at what's trending. This soccer fan in California has found a unique way to get in on the World Cup fun. Josh Brooks has decorated his entire front yard with flags to celebrate every team in the tournament. As teams get eliminated, he removes the flag from his yard and making his front yard a special tournament bracket. He is rooting for Team USA, of course, to win the entire thing. Pretty cool.
Wow, that is dedication. And collecting video games may look a little bit different in the future. Sony says it'll stop making physical game discs starting in 2028. After that, you'll only be able to buy games online. This comes just days after Rockstar announced it would only launch the highly anticipated Grand Theft Auto 6 digitally. Wow, everything is turning digital.
I
these
know.
days.
I mean, even when you go to restaurants, QR codes on the table instead of menus.
Yeah.
It's the way of the future, I
That
guess.
it is.
Let's turn to the forecast now with meteorologist Grant Skinner. Hey, Grant, we've been talking for days now about the heat coming in this weekend, and now it's here.
Yeah, very hot this afternoon, and we'll stay hot all the way through Monday of next week. So we're going to have multiple days of WRAL weather alert, days 5 of them in a row. And that doesn't mean it's going to be hot the entire day. But as these days progress, you're going to see more of the day with more intense heat lasting longer. So highs between 99 and 103 degrees all the way through this weekend. Heat index values between 100 and 110. The biggest concerns are going to be dehydration, heat-related illnesses. Just make sure you're taking breaks in the AC or in the shade if you have to spend long periods of time outdoors. And it's important to hydrate early and often. As soon as you wake up, have a lot of water. That way, when you have to go outside, possibly into the afternoon, you're hydrated. Before we get to the heat, I wanted to show you this because this is brand new information, just came in the latest drought update. We've seen some improvements for part of the state, including parts of our area, but we do have this area of extreme drought that's now expanded into parts of eastern North Carolina. So some changes with this. We still have the exceptional drought, though, in our northwestern spots. So that's still a concern. They still need a lot of rain to make up for those drought conditions that are ongoing there. This is view from Lewisburg this morning. Plenty of blue sky, temperatures starting mild, upper 70s, low 80s, so not too hot now, but this afternoon is when you'll certainly feel the heat. Highs climb to around 100 degrees, heat index values pushing closer to 105, maybe possibly 106 for a few spots, so again, hydration, stay in the AC as much as possible. The heat advisory covers the Triangle, points north into Virginia, parts of the northern coast as well, then back towards the west into parts of the Triad. Very hot all the way through the 4th of July. 100 for Friday, and then 102 on Friday, then 103 on Saturday. A bit of relief by Monday, but we're still at 100 degrees. That's why we have alert days all the way through Monday. We don't see more relief until Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, but it's not much of a cool down. Mid-90s by then still, and we'll have some scattered showers and a few storms by then, so slightly better rain chances, but still going to be very, very hot. So please take those necessary precautions.
Anytime soon. And before we go to the break, here are the winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic up next.